For the second straight year, AM Best hosted a competition for risk management and insurance students. The 2022 AM Best Student Challenge asked up-and-coming insurance professionals to create innovative solutions for managing insurance risks. After several months and several rounds, 3 finalists emerged. Paul Dunlop was among them. The Illinois State University student proposed expanding endorsements for homeowners, as well as communities that employ certain risk mitigation measures.
Essentially, I would sort of be operating as a consulting company where insurance companies would buy my product, and it would just create a metric, sort of a basics of looking at community guidelines as well as individual guidelines and creating a score based on certain resilience that both the policyholders has, both also as what the community is doing as a whole, to create that score, which the insurer can then set a certain discount for that policyholder and go about pricing the policy.
Dunlop's idea was inspired by rising natural catastrophe losses.
With climate change being at an all-time high, insurers are experiencing record losses, and there's been a pretty good correlation between resilience measurements and the outcomes of lowering losses. I believe FEMA puts the hurricane losses at somewhere between, for every $1 we invest in resilience, we get about $11 in return, which seems like a pretty good deal in my opinion.
The next finalist also focused on homeowners. Alex Pearson of Florida State University proposed a phone app to educate homeowners on the amount of insurance coverage they need. His app would provide unbiased information about coverage levels and rebuilding costs. The intent is to prevent homeowners from being underinsured.
So it's a one-stop shop for all your information when it comes to property and home insurance. Instead of having different companies have different bias on their insurance, this brings all your property insurances and different packages into one place. It shows what that extended replacement costs look like, and it helps the underinsured, and it helps the coverage gap situation. So you have a home, let's say you just refurnished the basement, made that all nice. It's going to increase the property value of your home in a total loss situation. And so you add that piece of information to your home model within the app, and it will tell you the current value of your home. What also is going to be your different packages to look at, as well as in the community, what does it look like with these different home values that your neighbors are doing, and kind of creates community. What are people that are in similar situations to me? What are they doing? What kind of coverages are they looking at? As well as it provides education that you might not get from agents and brokers, and it brings it to the app. It's going to simplify it so the regular consumer can look at it and understand at least a little bit what they're getting themselves into, and shows the different hazards and the different prices of homes, what inflation, what material costs look like, all in that one-stop shop. And another big part of it, you have the information biased when it comes to agents and brokers when dealing with one company. This app, that breaks the bias. It brings all the companies in one place.
Our last finalists are Beth Kolp and Julia Berdzik from St. Joseph's University. The duo created coverage for infectious disease remediation.
Our coverage would include qualified sanitary services, distribution of funds for PPE and testing, a test support team, all of which would be contracted with companies in advance so that these services are guaranteed, since demand can cause shortages at the time of an occurrence. There would also be a set dollar and occurrence limit that would be specified based on the policy purchased. To diversify the risk, the products would be distributed to numerous companies in various locations as different U.S. states. This plan would also exclude coronaviruses, as it's not ideal to have a product that would be suffering immediate losses, as outbreaks still seem to be relatively common, which isn't ideal since you would want these outbreaks to be uncommon to have a sustainable business model for this product, as well as influenza and common colds.
COVID-19 and its catastrophic impact on small businesses was the impetus for their idea.
We found when we were researching about U.S. small businesses that about half of U.S. small businesses operate with less than 15 days of cash reserves, and even healthy SMEs usually have less than 2 months. And as we know, these businesses were closed a lot longer than the 2 weeks to eventually be reopened, so they got decimated financially. Additionally, after not making any income while closed, these businesses had to spend even more money on health and safety measures, which was unexpected, in order to reopen and prove to customers that they're taking credible steps to ensure the health and safety of everyone present at the business. And these extra unexpected expenses associated with the health and safety exposures depleted the cash reserves at a much quicker rate. And this can help explain why there were so many extra permanent business closures, 200,000 to be exact, within the first pandemic year when compared to previous years.
So which idea came out on top? The winner of the 2022 Student Challenge is Beth, Kolp, and Julia Berdzik of St. Joseph's for infectious disease remediation coverage. Congratulations to all three finalists.